Hey everybody, it's HR Famous. I'm Tim Sackett. We're back, and I'm back with the most requested guest of all time.
That's
My,
insane.
I know my son Cameron Sackett. At first, I think people were shocked that I would actually have kids. They're just like somehow they're like, "There's no way you have." I know you've talked about them, but there's no way you have kids. And I'm like, "Well, they're not kids. They're grown ass men at this point."
Yep.
But so many people loved when you came on, Cam.
That's nice. Thank you, people. I don't know most of you, but I'm glad that you like listening to me. And I'm happy to be back.
So we are going to talk about the most famous, the second most famous HR thing to ever hit the internet.
What's first?
I knew it. See, I set you up for that. I knew you were going to
Okay,
ask.
great.
So if you think so, Coldplay, CEO, CHRO, I'm saying is the number two.
Okay.
It might be the biggest thing in HR that hit the internet. The number
Mhm.
one that we all kind of forget about is Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky. I mean,
Oh, great
you have the
point.
ultimate
Yeah.
CEO intern.
Mhm.
Like, are you kidding me? Like
Violation.
the
Yeah.
biggest HR violation of all time. This one's pretty big, and I say it's pretty big because it takes two of the most hated things in the world that for people, not me. People seem to like weirdly hate CEOs. We saw this with Luigi right earlier this
Mhm.
year. And then was it this year? God, I don't even like or like last.
Yeah.
I guess it was end of last
Within the
year,
last
maybe.
year. Yeah.
Yes, in the last 12 months, and then HR, and especially heads of HR. So you put those two things together, and it was like a perfect storm
It's a gold
of
mine.
the best thing that ever happened to the internet in so long. Before we dive into that, because there's a lot of analysis there, Cam, what are you watching? What do you like? What's going on in the world of Cameron Sackett? Well, you had big news since the last time you've been on. You want to
Yeah.
share that?
I haven't been watching. I was gonna say I haven't been watching that much because I've been very tired because I started a new job a few weeks ago, and we're not talking enough about how exhausting it is to start a new job. Even though you're not really doing a lot, it's just tiring. It's like when you. This is the metaphor I'm making is when you travel for a day, like you're sitting on a plane, but like you get home and you're so tired and you're like, why am I so tired? I didn't do anything all day. That's like me sitting at my desk in my new job where I don't have
I
many
know.
tasks yet and I'm exhausted at the end of the day. Anyways,
Yeah.
I started a new job a few weeks ago. I am now at Uber. If you don't know Uber, I
Yeah.
don't know how you don't
And
know
every
Uber.
time I say that, somebody has to make the joke going, "Oh, as a driver," you're like, Stop, stop."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
again, I love Uber drivers; they're amazing. We all use them, so let's not like bash on that. But
No.
you're in the social media team there.
Yeah, I'm on their global social team, or yeah, I guess that's what it's called. It's just a different world. I went from a company of like 200 people to a company of tens of thousands and a massive New York office, international presence. It's very cool, but it's just like a lot to get used to. So I've spent like the last couple of weeks literally just wrapping my head around what this company is, what it does, all of the different things that go into a company like Uber, which is one of the biggest and most influential companies in the world right now, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're one of those. It's weird. I just tell people all the time because I'm involved with so many startups in the HR space, and Uber is a two-sided marketplace. You have buyers, people that want to, either buy food or drive or need a ride or blah blah blah, and then you have all the people that deliver that. And
Hmm.
pulling off a two-sided marketplace is so hard, and everybody wants to do it. And they always say, "Oh, we're the Uber of whatever." They became the Kleenex brand. They're so big and popular, and yet what they did was massively difficult. And we see it in the HR space all the time where I have companies come to me trying to do this two-sided marketplace and you're like, "Oh, it's so hard to do."
Yeah. It's only been done so many times. So, and those
Yeah.
the companies you can think of are the biggest companies in the world right now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we got first week, you sent us a picture from your office. Yeah, you get a view of the Empire State Building and all
Yeah.
of really
I'm on the
Manhattan,
49th floor, which is crazy. I went from being on like which I did not have a bad office before, but like above a Zara, you can hear like the music blaring. It's just like the worst club music of all time. And like no windows around too. Now I'm on the 49th floor at the World Trade Center looking at Empire State Building. It's a very beautiful view, and it puts into perspective. I lived in New York for like almost 5 years now, but it's like, oh, I live in New York and I have a job in New York and I do all of the things that New Yorkers do.
Yeah, taking the train in
Hmm.
into work and doing all that. So that's
Yeah,
amazing.
but I
So
have been watching some things.
yeah,
I know that was the original question.
yeah,
Um, the show that I've been most obsessed with recently, I think that you and mom have watched this, maybe not, is the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders reality
we
show on
did.
Netflix.
We did, yeah.
I am
Actually,
obsessed with.
I'm trying to think if we finished it. I think we did finish it, yeah. The
Okay.
second season, right, yeah.
Second season, which is very similar to the first season.
Yes.
New
Yes.
characters, some
Mhm.
some old ones, but it's like right up my alley in a weird way. You wouldn't think like football would be up my alley, but the people that make those documentaries, they also did the Cheer documentary that was really big during the
Yes.
pandemic. They just make them look so beautiful and they do such a compelling job. I'm obsessed. I want to go to a Cowboys game now just to watch the cheerleaders.
It's riveting TV because it's like something you see that you don't even pay attention to, and then you get to see all that goes into it, and you're like, "Holy crap, like, this is amazing,"
Yeah. Yeah.
from that standpoint. And then also, it's the best reality TV gets you to love and hate certain characters within that.
100%.
And
Yeah.
the problem is they're not characters, are real people, but like you understand, like, and again, you might not comprehend, like, why would somebody ever want to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader? It doesn't matter what you think. This is a person that's their dream that they're trying to
Yeah.
go after. And what they have to go through to get there is, literal insanity, from that standpoint. A lot of HR stuff in that one because they were going, that's kind of like what the WNBA is fighting for right now. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
pay us what we think we, or what we deserve or what we're worth. And they make exponentially more than a lot of these other NFL teams. But again, they're a worldwide brand.
Yeah. It was really cool to see, spoiler alert, but at the end of the season 2 they get this massive kind of raise that they had been fighting for,
Mhm.
and it was really cool to see the people that were fighting for it were the people leaving, but they had like so much gratitude for like what they were able to overcome and like pass on to the next generations. I honestly, like, it makes you emotional because these women are just like so unbelievable. They're not only unbelievable athletically and artistically, but they're just like amazing people too. And then they also have all these outside kind of pressures and things. It's a really cool show.
There's a,
Mm,
and there's a huge history behind like workers fighting for different benefits, pay increases, stuff like this, where those fighting for it rarely actually get to see the benefit of it. It's always for the
yeah.
generation after them.
Yeah.
Um, and this plays out exactly like that, where you have so many of these. I mean, a handful will come back obviously and take advantage, but there was the ones that the main characters there, they fought for this, got it, but they didn't get to take advantage of it.
Yeah, which is, it's sad, but also just they all, I think, handle it in such a cool way.
They do.
That's like the one big show I've been watching. I've been seeing a lot of movies. I feel like we're in like a movie, like July has been kind of crazy for movies. You have Superman, Fantastic Four is coming out, F1, like all of these big movies. So it's been fun to
Well,
go to the
so
theaters.
you and I both saw F1.
Uh-huh.
I liked it. One, I'm a Brad Pitt fan. I
Sure.
just like Brad Pitt. And again, it's not something like you're going to go there going, oh my gosh, I don't under. This is going to be the craziest ending of all time. Like
Yeah.
you got it's like,
It's
come
very
on,
cliche.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. There's a young driver and the old driver, and like, come on, we all know where this is going.
Uh-huh.
We've
Uh-huh.
seen this. It's
Yeah.
to me, it's just like I can just get my popcorn, sit there, enjoy it. It's action packed. I thought it was, it was, and I'm not a big like F1 person, so I don't really understand all of that either. So it's interesting to see kind of some of that stuff. But
Yeah. No, I thought it was fun. I didn't like it as much as you did, but also I
yeah,
think I'm a little bit more of a snob than you are with
yeah.
movies. So,
So did you see
um,
Superman?
I'm seeing it on Tuesday, tomorrow. I'm seeing it
So
tomorrow. I've heard good things.
other Sackett brother, Cooper and I went last night.
Nice.
Um, and again, they like, I'm not going to give anything away. There's a super dog, which I'm thinking like, that's amazing. Any movie with a dog and it's going to be cool. And so people like, we're going to do a little inside baseball in the Sackett family right now. And so everyone knows my dog, Tucker. Very few people know Tucker's brother, half brother, Remy, who is Keaton's, my other son, older son's, that's his dog.
Hmm.
And I will tell you, Superdog and Remy could be brothers because
They look
Superdog's,
identical.
Well, no, Remy's crazy, and so does Superdog.
Got it.
So yeah, a
Yeah.
little inside Sackett family baseball on dogs. Um, there's a show that mom and I watched that literally both of us wiping like tears, last episode tears just streaming down our face. We Were Liars.
I've not heard of that. What is it on?
Amazon Prime,
Okay.
and it's the whole concept is it starts with these 4 16-year-olds that are kind of in this Kennedy compound setting, like super wealthy American family.
Okay.
3 of them are related. One is kind of brought in at a young age and then grows up with them, but he's kind of
Mhm.
an outsider, right? Um, and at first, my mom and I are like, "Yeah, it's fine, it's good." Like it's more of a we got teeny bopper young adult thing. Like it's like an 8 episode series.
Mhm.
Immediate left turn in the last episode. And literally, I can't remember the last time like I had that emotional, and probably because you were just
Wow.
taken
Yeah.
and literally just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Okay. I'll have to watch it. I've been looking for something to watch,
We
so
Were Liars.
great.
And it's the I will tell you, like the one head character is Candace, is Sinclair is the name of the character, and she is the daughter. I'm trying to think of. I gotta get the cast here. Bam, here we go. So she's like the one of the 16. They call them the liars, basically, because they're
Mhm.
little kids. They would lie. Um, and so her. Oh wait, this isn't. Oh wait,
I'm
no, it was
looking
the
for
other one. Sorry, it was the other. Oh, Esther McGregor is not the head. She's one of the liars, one of the 4 16-year-olds.
Oh,
It's
is
Ewan
it
McGregor's
Meryl's?
daughter.
Oh,
It's
also Meryl
Ewan
Streep's
McGregor.
daughter is in it.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Nepo
So,
Baby Olympics.
um, yeah, yeah, right. It is. The one funny thing about the whole thing is when mom first seen it, like we were watching, and like the 2 women 16-year-olders, right? Like, um, mom was like, "Those aren't 16-year-old boobs." Yeah, you know, because the actresses are like 23 and 24 years old. You're like,
Yeah,
they're actually grown women. They're not teenagers, but it is what it is.
it is.
Anything else
Not
that
really.
did you see any good movies that like we didn't talk about?
Um, I saw Megan 2, which was fun. I saw this movie called Sorry Baby, which is like an indie A24 film, which was very harrowing, but it was very good. And then I'm seeing Superman tomorrow. So I'll
Yeah,
next
and
time I come on,
Megan
we can.
too. Megan too. I would like. I don't like horror movies.
Oh, it's so fun. I don't really like horror movies either, but like that's not to me. That's not really horror. That's kind of
it's a
action
little.
thriller.
It's kind of
It's
it's a
a
combination of
little
like
scary.
sci-fi. Anytime a
Sure.
doll comes to life and wants to kill people, I'm like hard out. Like I don't.
I will say, so I went to LA recently, and they don't have Waymo in New York. If you don't know what Waymo is, it's like the autonomous Uber
Yeah.
essentially. And I took my first Waymo. I was very excited. I loved it. And then I watched Megan 2 and I was like, okay, I don't know how I feel about this anymore. Cuz Megan 2 is taking kind of a concerted stance around, I don't want to say a stance against AI, but just, it's about AI. And I was like, what if the car turns on me? But we don't have that in New York yet. So
Yeah. For those who are listening to this, you're not going to understand this. For those watching on YouTube, I look like either I got attacked by bees or sunburn, or a
or
combination of
both.
like poison ivy, all of it. I'm doing some like skin cancer treatment stuff. I'm fine. It's pre-cancerous stuff where you put this like chemo cream on your face and it all comes out and you look like Deadpool for like 30 days. And then, then I'll look amazingly young come conference season in the fall.
Baby skin.
Um, I'll have baby skin. But, that's what we do to get beautiful as we go through hell to do that. All right,
Hmm.
we're gonna get to this Coldplay concert
Let's do
that
it.
overtook the internet, and I wish the only thing I wish, and this was like last week. So when you're listening to this, it's gonna be a couple weeks old, but um, I literally came to work this morning on a Monday, just hoping something else happened, so they would keep going. So for those who are uninitiated, there was a Coldplay concert and they have this like fan cam and it was like kind of a kiss cam, but not really. We didn't call it a kiss cam. I don't think even it just, they were just going to go out in the audience and show people. And all of a sudden they hit on this woman and the man is hugging this woman from behind and they're smiling. And then the man and women realize they're on the camera. The woman like just turns and is kind of laughing. The man literally hits the floor like there's a sniper shooter. I tell you, Cam, I've watched that thing 100 times because it was magical to see how fast that dude hit the floor, knowing that he
Mhm.
was. So come to find out, it's the CEO of Astronomer and the CHRO of Astronomer who are married, not to each other.
Mhm.
And so they're having an affair, or that's what the internet basically says. Now we know the CEO has resigned, and they were first the CEO and the CHRO both put on administrative leave, and then like soon after, within 24 hours, the CEO turned in and their resignation from that standpoint. Cam, give me the breakdown about this.
Firstly, I just think it's hilarious this happened at a Coldplay concert. Like, it just feels so right. You couldn't script it better. Like, if they were making a movie out of this and it just was a fictionalized scenario and they chose a Coldplay concert, everyone would be like, this was picture perfect that it happened at a
Yeah,
Coldplay concert. I've read a lot and seen a lot of discussion about how their reactions ultimately made the viral moment, which is what you were
yeah,
talking about. How,
100%.
like, if they had acted normally and kind of like, like embarrassingly laughed
Wave
it
at the
off, yeah,
camera. Yeah,
you don't know who could have been there, right? There could have been one of their coworkers, colleagues, could have been someone they know personally. It could have caused, like turmoil in their personal or careers, but like it wouldn't have been a public sensation that would have caused this. So
yeah.
people just need to like act normal, ultimately, is the takeaway here. But
No, so
also,
yeah, we're giving like a fair advice. That's what it came down to. Is people are like, hey, if you're having an affair in public, here's how to react. And I was
yeah.
like,
But like also maybe don't have an affair with your coworker is the lesson we should take away from this. I
so you
Yeah.
remember 10 years ago now, I did the workplace hugging rules. Like I
Yes.
became,
Your
that was my
virality. Yeah.
my micro famous, kind of thing. Two of the rules are at play here. One, never hug from behind in a working
Never.
relationship. The
Yeah.
second one was never hug the person you're having an affair with at the office. That's an actual rule. Like
Oh my
I
god.
tried to like give these out,
They did not read or they forgot. Maybe you need to do this yearly. You need to
right?
refresh the hugging rules every year
I
so
will.
that the C-suites of the world can figure out how to have an affair.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. The best meme, again, Coldplay, like you said, took just so many like backhanded, like they took a lot from this as well. Coldplay hasn't made a single in years. Last night they made two. Was one of my favorite memes.
Another part of this too is that Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, who's like on the mic, kind of like talking through this camera, he basically says, like, that was weird. Are they having an affair? Like, he read the cis scenario immediately. Like, that man knows.
Yeah, that I mean, all of it together was a perfect storm, right? How they
Yeah,
reacted, how he reacted. Did you see Bethany Frankel? Her like on Instagram, she put it like she immediately did like a 5 minute like
of course.
video on this,
Uh huh.
and it was so funny because she was like, "This is in Boston. They work for a
Hmm.
company in Boston," and she's like, "You can't go to a Coldplay concert with 50,000 people in
No,
Boston and think that you're not going to run in like you're trying to have an
100%.
affair and like your dentist is going to be there, your kid's soccer coach, like
Yeah.
you're going to run into everybody.
Uh
Everybody was
huh.
there."
Yeah, I know. That is another thing. I just like there is such so much delusion. Even if they like somehow snuck in the back and that like they're standing at the railing
The
of
rail,
like a
the
club or a
suite.
suite.
Yeah.
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 Someone's gonna see you. I mean, that's how celebs get spotted at like every concert. You're the CEO. I mean, you're a public figure basically.
I'm not gonna lie. I sent 100 memes to my friends, especially to the HR famous crew. Shout out to Jessica, KD, and Madeline. they, I think, were so sick of me by the end of the weekend that they were just probably
This
putting me
is
on
your
mute.
Olympics.
So I'm going to keep reading memes. Here's a couple more. Facebook boomers are going to lose their minds when they see this cheating CEO vids hit their timeline in 3 weeks.
In 3. I know, that's like the TikTok to Instagram Reels. I saw it immediately when it came out because
Yeah.
I'm very active on social, obviously, and saw it on Twitter and TikTok, like all over. And then I had a group chat text me. When did this happen? Like Thursday? And I had a group chat text me yesterday being like, do you guys see this? I'm like, yeah,
I know.
4 days ago.
Exactly. Like I'm already on to the other stuff.
Yeah.
The LinkedIn stuff was funny too because there was a lot of LinkedIn stuff. I had, you know how in LinkedIn you have like the little under your picture you can like open to, for like for jobs or open to hire or
Hmm.
whatever, and people were like hashtag open to affairs, like they're like making their own little like slashes on their picture.
In the space, in the brand social space, some brands kind of like waded into these waters. I think you have to have a pretty interesting disposition as a brand to want to comment on this. And I saw StubHub posted a video from a Coldplay concert, and the caption was "This in your CHRO."
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of those about the ticket stuff too. Here's another one that I know you'll like coming from like social team. This is kind of related. It's like life update. I'm happy to announce that today is my first day as the head of PR for Astronomer. Excited to take a big sip of coffee and log into a company email.
I
It's
saw
like
that.
a
I saw that. That's so
row.
funny. I read a really interesting article this morning from Business Insider. I can't remember what the headline was, but basically, they're talking about how that this can be kind of a net positive for Astronomer, and
Oh
how
my
like
gosh, yeah.
people, once this kind of boils over, they've gotten rid of the CEO, whether that
Brand
was
awareness
his,
is through
yeah,
the roof. Yeah.
and like this probably will follow them, and they'll have like annoying people all the time being like, aren't you the company of the Coldplay concert? But ultimately, like, aren't they're not a public, they're not like a company that everyone's going to know. They're definitely not a household name, and they've become
No.
one, and it's going
Yeah.
to, lead generation and all of those things if they play this right, which I don't know if they will long term, but they seem to be, moving quickly enough and remedying the
Yeah,
situation.
here's what I need. The next CEO has this moment in time where they could really blow up the brand in a big way if they're willing to have a little bit of make fun of themselves a little
Yeah,
bit
and
in a
and
way that's serious
acknowledged.
to in a
Yeah.
way that's serious to the team and serious to the people that work there. I think they could do a really good job with it. If they just try to like be really vanilla or corny, it's like, come on, stop. Another meme. I divorced my husband just for attending a Coldplay concert. Bam! Coldplay became Nickelback. I think
I
some people were
know.
like, "Do we hate Coldplay? Do we like Coldplay?" I'm not sure.
I'm kind of
Um,
neutral on Coldplay. I feel like they haven't done anything new, and that's great, in a long time, but like revisit the old stuff and it's good. Like it's not
yeah,
like, and I think Chris Martin's like a seems like a cool person, like, and he's a good performer.
yeah,
I've never seen
yeah.
them, but I
I
don't throw
never
shade.
no, but it's funny how they got so much shade thrown at them.
Oh yeah.
I got immediately when this went, like you said on Thursday when it went in Thursday morning right away. Just from the HR perspective, I was so fascinated by this because again, here you have a head of HR doing this with a CEO, and it blew up, and everyone's like going, well, wait a minute, who's gonna are they both gonna lose their jobs? And you're like, you had like literally the person who would help you fire somebody, and then the head person of the company, both are the ones at play here. And so
Hmm.
logistically, it's a nightmare. And so I posted something up immediately, it went crazy. In about 3 hours after posting it and it going viral on LinkedIn, I had you know how like the pendulum of social, you'll love this, is how it swings.
Yeah,
And then
back and
people
forth.
started going, Tim, these are people with kids and families, and how could you do this? And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to care more about their family than these two people did? Like they didn't care about their own family. I'm not out here making fun of them. I'm out here saying like, hey, this is a real HR issue that's playing out in real time for the
Yeah.
entire world to see. And
Yeah,
this
you're
is
not like
crazy.
finding their partners, doxing them. Yeah, I think it's
Exactly. Yeah.
interesting. This is like you said, brought up just like a conversation around what you would do in this scenario, especially amongst like the HR professionals. But like as C-suite member of a company, you're a public interest figure. I mean,
Yeah.
you are just someone that people know, and you have to like behave in a world where, for right or wrong, that's just the world we live in.
And you
And
were caught in
so,
public.
yeah, like
It wasn't like
you,
somebody was like putting a camera in your window, you know?
yeah. And it was funny. I saw Coldplay, like the next concert they did, they kind of like acknowledged like, and there's going to be cameras and we're going to show the audience. But like, you have to, if you're going to do this, you have to acknowledge the dangers, and they fell into one of the traps. So like, you open yourself up to this in a way. And yes, they are people, and yes, they have families, and like, you should not go after their families. And
Yeah.
that's all true and right. But like,
Yeah.
these people messed up, and they are ripe for criticism.
All right, another meme. Did his girlfriend help him enroll in Cobra? That one made me laugh out loud because he was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm losing my job. What am I gonna do?"
Oh my
There
gosh.
was a lot of like support for. Well, it's refreshing to see a CEO actually like have an affair with someone who's age
Oh,
appropriate.
yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're not quite on the same level, but way closer than we typically see. So that's good, I
And then
guess.
a lot of like love for the CHRO fitness level. They were like, hey girl, you need to release your arm like workout because you know
Oh
she has
my
cat
God.
cannons. Like she was really fit, and you're just like, hey, good for like there's people that always find like it's interesting what they look at and notice, and then what they like respond with, which I think is so funny. Um,
Do you think this
so
is
he
ushering in like a new era of kiss cams? I feel like kiss cams kind of like, which let me say, as someone named Cameron, kiss cam meant something
yes,
differently to me growing up.
the real
Um,
kiss cam, yeah.
yeah, but I feel like we moved away from kiss cams for a while, and it was something different. Going to like the Michigan State games I went to growing up, I don't remember that being a big thing. Are they back?
All weekend long was the Coldplay cam.
Yeah.
And literally in every arena, sporting arena event that was going on, people, and then everybody was doing it, and they would like show them hugging, and then they would all jet down real quick,
Hmm.
which I thought was super funny. Um, the Halloween costume of the year will be the CEO and CHRO of the Coldplay concert.
I know
And
who's gonna
it'll
do it.
just be
Someone's
two
gonna do it in
people
your office.
hugging.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, oh for sure, I'm gonna be. I'll do that with Teresa, basically. Well, I already said, I said immediately when this happened, for those who don't know, I have two work wives and a real wife. So, and we're not Mormon. It's just, this is not like real life. Um, my two work wives are Jackie and Teresa because I spend so much time with them. And immediately I sent them a message and go, Teresa, we should post a photo like this and just normalize it to help these two people out. um, I've gotten a lot of people like have sent me stuff going, okay, well, the CEO resigned. What about the CHRO? What's going to happen to her? And here's where we actually like real life, like technicalities come into play where you have, hey, um, because the CEO was her supervisor and she was a subordinate, the board and her legal team, they really have to negotiate a severance with her if they want her to leave.
Mm-hmm.
She
Mm-hmm.
has some power here because she easily, if they just fire her, she could go, look, he was my supervisor and he kind of forced me into this. I didn't really want to do it. And then they face a massive lawsuit. And so we haven't heard anything from her. My guess is because
Yeah.
they're in this process of negotiating. My guess is eventually, and we won't even hear it. They'll just be like, we don't comment on, personnel issues, blah, blah,
Sure.
blah. But she'll be gone if she's not already gone, and she'll negotiate. I had a lot of women in my life professionally that had said, you know what sucks about all this, Cam, is that a year from now, this dude will actually get another job working for some other startup or some other tech company because he has this lineage of successful, stuff. And he'll come out and be contrite. And I learned from this and he paid my dues, blah, blah, blah. No one will hire. And I'm not saying no one ever will, but I'm just saying the women in my life were telling me, Tim, this is crappy because no one will hire her to be a head of HR ever again,
Mm-hmm.
but he'll get hired again. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I
Yeah.
think you're right. And it sucks because, of course, she made a bad decision as well. But she also has a successful lineage of being a great HR leader and great HR pro. And she made a mistake. So did he. So why should he get another chance? And I'm not saying he will, but I just think like the history shows us is that he's probably more likely to get another chance.
Yeah,
Even if
for
it's
sure.
like, well, we're not going to hire you as the CEO, we'll hire you as head of revenue, but then a
Yeah.
year from now, we'll promote you, right? Kind of thing,
Yeah.
or whatever. Um, and she'll have a harder time because every time it comes up, some CEO is going to go, wait a minute, you want me to hire the Coldplay CHRO lady to like be my head of HR? Like, it's going to be really difficult for her. I
Yeah.
actually sent her a note and said like, "Hey, if you want to come on HR Famous with Cam and I, we'll talk out the whole thing.
Oh
Like, let's."
my god. I wouldn't even know what to say. I'd be starstruck.
Um, I actually have a couple of people in my life that know her personally and said
Oh,
she's like
wow.
a really great, like, nice lady, right?
Yeah. And
Just things happen, and unfortunately, in our weakest moment, hers was made international news, and we all hope that that would never happen to us, you know?
yeah. We also don't know, to play a little bit of like, I don't know these people and I'm not standing up for them per se, but
Yeah,
like we don't know the scenario ultimately. We don't know
we
like
don't.
maybe they were both separated from their partners and just hadn't like done official divorces or something. And there's clearly like a line that was crossed when it comes to like employee relations. And that's why the CEO is gone. Like if they had disclosed the
Yes.
relationship or something like that, then there probably would have something else would have gone down. And maybe one day one of them will write a tell all memoir or like do a 60 minutes interview and we'll get the full story. But like we don't
Yeah.
know ultimately. And so we're making
This would
inferences
be
and
a
all those
great this
things.
would be a great Dateline episode like 2 years from now. It's like, do you remember the Coldplay? Everyone's like, heck yes, we all remember. What happened to? Where are they now? And let's talk about it. There's one other piece of this that Astronomer kind of made go away. So the one lady that was laughing hysterically right next to her,
Yes, I forgot.
everybody assumed that that was her number two that just had gotten hired and promoted.
Okay.
And the Astronomer came out right away and said no other Astronomer employees were at the concert. Which again, I'm like, you don't know that for sure. So I don't,
Sure.
because there's 50,000 people there. There could have been 10 Astronomer employees there.
Yeah.
They just didn't know.
Astronomer
Um,
loves Coldplay. Who knows?
but like in Reddit, like people were saying like, no, this is this person. So the question is why? Maybe it was just mistaken identity, two people that looked the same.
Sure.
But there was Astronomer people in Reddit going, no, that's her. Like that. And so you're like, it's so like everyone's kind of like, wait a minute, was it her? Is it not her? I've privately have had people like send me text messages saying it was her and
Whoa.
the people that know everybody, right?
Hmm.
Um, but again, no one truly knows because it's just a person laughing hysterically, and and everyone's trying to like match it up to a LinkedIn profile picture, and you're like, it looks similar. I don't know. It's two young women with dark hair. Could it be the same person? Who knows? Um,
Yeah.
because if it was, then you're like, then it gets even the story in HR gets even deeper because now you have the head of HR, the number two person knew what was going on as well, right? And like, what do they,
Yeah.
but again,
I
they
don't.
have the same safety as the CHRO going, like, if she's the number two going, well, my boss and the CEO is like, hey, you can't tell anybody. Like, she has a major lawsuit, right, waiting to happen as well. So there's a lot of like technical crap going on.
Yeah. I also don't understand, like, yes, there seems to be a lot of conflicting queries here going on, but like, why would it's very verifiable whether she was there or not
For sure.
ultimately. It's like, why would
Yeah.
Astronomer say she wasn't there if she actually was? Like, that just doesn't make sense. There's a lot of plausibility there that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I don't know.
I
That is an
again,
interesting
I
part.
that's my thing too. Is I tend to believe the Astronomer team coming out because they had more to risk and lose by
Totally.
coming out saying that she wasn't there when she was, because that's going to blow up in their
Just a
face.
blatant lie. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's true. Yeah.
Um, but that girl laughing hysterically again, that just also proves the point where they could have played this off. And like there's been so many like TikToks and Instagram reels
Totally.
of couples showing like you could have acted like it was a Heimlich maneuver. You could you could have acted like you were
You're saving
dancing and
someone
play it
from
off.
falling over the edge. Yeah.
It was I just think it's so funny that people immediately here's the thing. At the end of the day, the internet won once again. The internet
Mhm.
won the CEO Coldplay CHRO like affair video thing that happened. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to be remembered as like one of the defining cultural moments of 2025, or is it going to be like a flash in the pan?
I think it's one of the I think it will define one of the things in 2025. I kept trying to think of anything that's really bigger. Like this
Yeah.
for all the crazy stuff like that our current president puts up on a daily basis, this was exponentially bigger. Like and
Yeah.
everybody and the other thing was is it truly brought everybody in our country together for like 2 days. Like it
It's
didn't
very
matter if
cross generational.
I mean, across every political line as well, right? Like everybody came together because, again, it's this kind of mutual, like, oh, these CEOs are just rich babies, blah blah blah. Oh, HR, they're they always make the rules and never
Common
follow them. Like
enemies.
it came, it did, it came to everybody came together and was like these two things, these two forces came together, and everybody lost their minds and had fun with it. And so you're like, all right, I think it will be one of those things that we look back at the top 10 things that happened in 2025. This has to be one of those, unless, God forbid, the second half of the year, something else like all
Crazier
craziness
things.
breaks loose.
Yeah.
I can't imagine culturally something bigger than this. Like I said, I think it will be the defining Halloween costume for
Yeah.
2025.
For sure.
I think it's just the fun part of it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I agree.
Did you
I think
get
it's going to be
from a
big.
corporate standpoint? At Uber, did any like mass communication come out to you guys to say like, hey, just make sure you guys understand what the fraternization rules were?
No, but I've been going through all those like training modules in my first few weeks, so I do feel like I'm very brushed up on it. We did talk about it in the office, just like anecdotally as a team, and kind of like, oh my gosh, can't believe this is happening. But no, I did not receive anything. But I wonder if other companies, maybe in the similar astronomer space, put out more of those communications.
Like you didn't like brainstorm like, hey, can we have the Uber CEO like hugging a driver, and
Uh,
throw it out just to have fun?
not quite, but that would have
That
been
would
funny.
see if I was the head of TA at Uber, that would be something I would have brainstormed to say, hey, we have this moment that we need to hire more drivers, and if we have the CEO hug a driver, we can make fun and have this out and make it go viral. And somebody would have like some legal person would have rightly said, Tim, just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah,
We can't do that.
basically,
Anyways,
yeah.
cool. Well, Cam, number one requested guest, we'll have you back for sure.
Great. Always
And
a
I want to
pleasure.
want to thank you for being on.
Of course.
And so again, have a good summer for everybody. Cam Sackett, I'm Tim Sackett, and this is another HR Famous episode. We'll be back next week with some more. See you soon.